back with a pull day. Again, we're going to try this type of film and see how it works out. I'm in my house today, not in the car, not in a steamed, fully up car. So we started off this workout with some single arm rows, working with the 50 kilo dumbbells here, belting up. Whenever I do single arm rows, I always belt up just because of the way I do them as well. I tend to work actually off the rack. I can work off a bench as well, but I don't put my knee on the bench like the conventional way I do mine, stood up and hand off the back of the bench. Again, every time you do a single arm row, arm out in front, leg back, every time you pull with your arm with a dumbbell, you aim is to try and pull it back towards your hip every single time you actually do the row itself. Then what we basically did then, we moved on to the, not hammer strength, it's called pure strength in our gym, lat pull down. Using straps for this one as well, put my hand over the top. The actual grip of the gym itself is like a diamond triangle kind of grip, and it really starts to dig into your hand whenever you're doing your pulling movements. It's okay for your chest press and your push, but with the ISL lats and everything like that, it's not very nice. It's like as if calluses weren't bad enough, your hands just like bleeding by the time you finish your sets. Went quite heavy with that one, working with 3 plates, both hands at the same time. I say quite heavy, it's not the heaviest, but if you do it single arm, you can do 3, 4, 5 plates. So both hands together at the same time is always going to make it a lot harder. If I had to choose between the two, I'd definitely choose the lat pull down, which was actually next on the clip, and the reason as to why it was next is because we couldn't get on it straight away. It's as simple as, I always, every single back workout, pull workout, try and get onto the lat pull down. If it's a variation of what the pull down is itself, in my opinion, it's one of the staple movements you need to be doing every single time you go into the gym and do a pull workout. Close grip, wide grip, hands underneath, whatever it is, if you change it up each time, like I say, it's one of the staple movements in the back workout. So I moved on to that next, and it was a close grip, just because we've done hands over the top to start off with. So I went close grip, and all the close grip does again, it just provides that better stretch. When your hands are over the top and you're pulling down, you don't get as far of a range of movement. So your hands underneath and to the top and pulling down, you're getting that bigger range of movement in your arms and your lats, so therefore technically you're working harder because you're stretching them out more and you're physically moving the weight further each and every time. Then we went into a variation of the kettlebell bent over row, and what you want to basically do with these ones is you want to get yourself into your 45-degree position or lower. Then when you're there, instead of trying to pull the kettlebells back into you like you would do with your bent over row or single arm row, you actually have to try and pull the kettlebells up towards your hips and your butt. Now, every time you do it as well, you try to actually pull it higher than your hip and your butt, and all that's going to basically do as well is going to get all that upper back activated, firing from those traps really out, upper lat insertion point as well. Now, every time you do those, you want to be able to go heavy enough so you can feel the contraction, but it needs to be light enough so you can actually control it. Because if not, you'll just feel like it's rocking backwards and forwards, and the whole point in doing it after you've done the lat pull down is so you can actually feel and contract your back. It's not just a case of moving the weight as fast as you can, moving the weight as heavy as you can. Then from there we went into some standing side raises. The dumbbells went a little bit heavier than normal. I've always gone kind of light on them, 10, 12s, I've never really pushed it much higher, so I started to work on 16s and seeing what that does for me there. And again, one of the things I want to work on for the next time I step on stage is my shoulder in general. I think for men's physique and the way it's going, you have to have nice capped boulder shoulders, one on each side. To finish off your physique, it helps make your waist look a little bit smaller as well, and you in general look wider. So we worked with the 16 kilos. Again, every time you do it, you want to try and pull actually with your elbow, and you don't really want to try and focus on getting the weight. You're going to do it sometimes. You don't want to try and get the weight too high above your elbow. You want to try and have your elbow at the top, so you're actually pulling with your side lateral instead of your trap. You're going to feel it. Most exercises you do for shoulders, to somewhat degree, your traps are going to be involved in there because they're very dominant. Everyone kind of calls me out as well. Whenever I put a photo on Instagram, I'm like, oh, which one do I need to work on more? This, that. Main things are chest and traps. I know my chest ain't great, but I'd say my traps are quite a dominant part. I don't really tend to work them too much, so maybe I'll have to upload a photo with me where you can actually see my traps for once. Then from there, went on some cables. We didn't film that. Cables were supersetted with some behind the snap neck pull-ups. This absolutely destroyed our biceps. This absolutely destroyed our biceps. I don't know why, I don't know what it was exactly, but the contraction we're feeling each time we're doing it, Dan just looked at me and was like, my arms are dropping off. From there we then moved into some bicep work. Went to the EZ bar for reps. Elbows in, control on the way down, and make sure you fully extend on the way down. It just gives your arm a little bit of a rest, but as well, then again you got to think about it in the sense of what you're actually doing the curl for. You're doing a curl to get a stronger bicep, or you're going to do it for a bigger bicep. Bigger biceps are definitely working hypertrophy, because you're working hypertrophy, you want to get those reps in there, and you want to get the full range. You want to be working as much as a bicep as you physically can. There's no point doing half reps unless you do 21s where you do top, middle and all the way down, and not all the way down, full range. But that's if you're doing 21s. I wouldn't recommend doing partial reps for the majority of the exercise you do. I'd only say partial reps for when you're going towards failure or you're doing a drop set. That's where then I'd include partial reps. That's basically going to conclude conclude today's pull workout again. Let me know if you do like this style of video. I'm going to try and do a style of this one, and then obviously the actual point to prove episodes as well, because these are kind of more like a how to and showing you a whole my workout, whereas a point to prove episode is like kind of my week all jumbled into one, so we'll take it from there. Anyway, you're here, so make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you go follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I don't really use it too much. Add me on Snapchat, send me some snaps, ask me some questions, and I'll see you on the next one.